Today we're going to be looking at the 2021 Volvo XC40 Recharge. Now this is a 2021, however, it's going to pertain to everything up into the shooting of this video, which would be the 2025 model years. It will be the same. All right, let's see how it is getting in the Volvo XC40. Oh yeah, no problem. Getting in is not an issue. Not fighting with anything. And I want to mention also, I do have the seat currently forward from its rearmost position by about 3 inches. In fact, if I run it back all the way, I'm actually so far back, it's not even, it's too far back. I'm a little uncomfortable. So with the Volvo XC40, great for the length in my legs. I do have to run that seat forward. As far as sitting in here now, my legs are in an excellent, comfortable position. I do have the steering wheel. It is telescoping and tilt, and I have it about halfway, both in tilt and telescope, and it's very comfortable. My right leg isn't really feeling like it's hitting the center console and like pushing my leg over. Everything just feels really comfortable in this car. The center console seems like it's just right at the right height. Honestly, it's really good. Now headroom, I have tons of headroom. So even if I kind of sit up nice and straight, I've got probably 1.5 inches of headroom there. Very comfortable, don't have to worry about hitting my head. I'm not worried about any of the side over here coming in on my head. I'm 6'4.5", and I gotta tell you, I fit in the driver's seat really well. All right, let's see how I fit in the back seat. Now the front driver's seat still is in that position where it's about 3 inches forward from its rearmost setting. Getting in, okay, it's a little harder to get in. My knees are crammed up against the seat. If I was sitting in the back right now with a person like myself driving and the seat in this position, I gotta tell you, I'm probably gonna end up sitting sideways like this, or I might, I might come over here and yeah, probably actually it is better for me kind of pushing my knees over to the left. That aside, as far as headroom goes, I actually have pretty good headroom. I do start to get a little bit of the side coming in on my head. I might probably want to have to lean or sit over a little bit more to the inside of the vehicle. But headroom, not an issue. It's the knee room. Now, if this seat were forward, say somebody that was like 6 foot or maybe 5'10" were driving, I think you could get this seat far enough forward that it would be a little bit more of a comfortable fit. And actually, now that I'm sitting here, I could kind of spread my legs like this and sit like this okay. Still not great. Let me close the door and just see how this would actually work if I sat like this. Yeah, it's no trouble. So I could sit like this if I needed to, or as I mentioned before, I could kind of put my legs to one side or the other. But again, if somebody is shorter were driving, I think the seat could get into a position where, to be honest, you probably could sit fairly comfortably. Sitting in the passenger seat now, and wow, I have so much leg room. The seat is all the way back, and there is an incredible amount of leg room. Like, my legs are almost straight. It's just crazy. What I want to do is I want to run the seat forward as if I were maybe needing to have somebody sit behind me, let's say. So how far can I run this, still be comfortable? Right here, I have about 1.5 inches here and about 3 inches worth of knee room there. It's still quite comfortable. The seat is reclined not all the way, obviously. If these seats on this car, actually, the front seats can recline almost flat. But I'm in a great recline position. This would be very comfortable. Now, let's see if I was sitting like this in the front seat, how I might also fit in the back with this configuration. Getting in is still a little tricky. My big size 14 feet kind of get hung up on things. But once I'm in here now, this is what I was talking about earlier. If the seat was more forward, I actually sit quite comfortably. I still do have to kind of move my knees off to the side. If I run them together, they are touching the seat back. But if I just kind of spread them apart like this, I could do this. Like, I could probably do a couple-hour road trip back here and not be too terribly uncomfortable.
Matt here. DJ and I are a little bit different in dimensions, even though we're about 1 inch difference. I'm 6'6", he's 6'5". Wanted to see how I fit in the car as well. Basically the same as him. I have really great headroom. Moonroof, sunroof here allows for extra space, which is really nice. A lot of cars aren't like that. I have plenty of legroom. Again, this is not all the way back. So this is very comfortable. I fit fantastic in this. Okay, now I left the front seat where I would be comfortable driving. Let's see how I fit in the back seat. My head is definitely in the ceiling here. Not terribly comfortable. I could fit for a short ride here. If the seat was a little bit more forward, I would be able to fit better. But as you can see, my knees are jammed up in here. I'm gonna do a quick close on. Yeah, the door closes great. It's not hitting my knee. Yeah, for a short ride, maybe, but not for anything long distance, that's for sure. Now, when I fit in the back seat like this in cars, getting out is sometimes a little bit of a struggle. I have a size 15 shoe, or foot size, so kind of have to back out of cars, if you know what I mean. Somewhere I don't fit and don't recommend is the back.
So wrapping it up for the 2021 Volvo XC40 Recharge, I have to say, sitting in the front seats, both driver and passenger for me, not a problem. For Matt even, really not a problem. For me in the rear seats, it was doable. I'd give it a pass. It's a go for me. Although for Matt, who's a little bit taller than me, about an inch or so, inch and a half, it was an issue. So maybe if you're really tall, the back seat of the XC40 is not so great. But for me, 6'4.5" or so, it was doable. All in all, I would have to say, for the most part, this is an okay vehicle for tall people.